But I don't suggest that you don't read the books, because they're actually very good. And one thing that's really nice about them is that there's the original books, the first books we had, or especially this book of the Jews. It's a brilliant work of horror, pornographic, murdering tyranny, so that we know exactly the situation we are in. When you read the Torah, you know exactly the state of the world. Now, of course, the state of the world 4,000 years ago, when this was written, was a little harder than it is now. And, I mean, what's there to believe? If you just read it and say, okay, I mean, God says, I mean, the guy's writing a book and he says, God says, now they can be like one of us, but there's only one true God. I mean, the book is full of contradictions, and you need to notice that. You need to notice that, because that is the beauty of the book. It swings you from one side to the other, one side to the other. They're like a roller coaster, or only, I don't know, what one of those things go back for. But anyway, I lost my point. And the point is, people, we really, really must figure out that we are here because our religions have told us we aren't here, so we were killing the rest of the planet. We don't even know how many species of creatures there are on this planet. We have no idea. But we know for sure that we need a computer even to make the number, because most of the creatures, we just haven't seen them yet. Most of them are too small. We need smaller. I mean, they're in the ground, they're microscopic, they're bacteria, there's so many different kinds of bacteria. What, 5 or 10,000 different bacteria living in your mouth? I mean, when you think about it, that's creepy. You've got bacteria all over the place. I mean, what are we anyway? We're a living unit of hordes of different fucking creatures. But one last point, and we'll stop this rambling, okay? Evolution, instinct. Okay, it's for those who believe this Judeo-Christian Islam religion, and then the other nonsense that's like it. Although I wouldn't include Hindu and Buddhist in there, because they have this concept of reincarnation, which I don't think I'm going to be able to clarify in this video, because I don't know if you can even clarify something like that. And anybody that sits down and says, well, I know that I'm in blah, blah, blah. Well, it's speculation, you know, there's no way to prove it, but you can't see it. And on the other hand, maybe you don't see it. But the point is, heaven, wherever it is, ain't going to be better and more real than now. Or what did Jim Morrison say? Can any place be more horrible and real than now? I mean, heaven or hell, it's how you look at it. That's how you deal with it. I mean, we're making a hell of it, and we shouldn't be. We should be taking responsibility, playing gods. Don't play God, play gods. And just like the God in the Bible said, what if they become like one of us? Well, it's time that we become like one of us. That we become the gods. Because any god that might have been looking after us before, they were all tyrants. They were all semi-gods, demigods, partial gods, ignorant gods, and myopic gods. And we got to get to the point now, and we've already come to it. I mean, look at it. The whole fucking planet is suddenly connected in the last couple of years, and somebody's going to start thinking, and somebody's going to start spewing out their brain, and this religious nonsense is just going to become absurd. And we're going to wake up and think, well, we're here. What are we going to do? And what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can make life more fun for everyone. Why the fuck not? So we don't have to worry about killing each other. We don't have to worry about some hungry black fellow coming over from some poor starving country, such as the one next door or something, and stealing our whatever we get, because they don't need to, because they get their water, they get their food. I mean, let's start with that, okay? Let's start with people drinking water and eating food, okay? And then we'll get on to the next part and realize, okay, we're here. We don't have to wait till we die to go to heaven. We can do it now. And, well, then, the rest you can figure out on your own, I think. And just one little tiny little final one last point for tonight. And that is, when people, especially when you think about musicians and they're trying to explain some kind of rebellion against something or whatever, I mean, it's always the same nonsense. Even if you read a book from Margaret Atwood, who you think, well, she's smart, why would she be rebellion? Like, anyway, when people say, go fuck yourself, they don't really mean any sort of aggression, I mean, they say it aggressively because it's something you're not supposed to say, or it's maybe not something you're supposed to hear. But if it's said often enough, maybe people will get the point and realize it's a piece of advice, okay? It's a piece of advice. It's a learning process for instinct and evolution. And I'm going to leave it at that.